What kind of a mount are you looking for? A backyard pet your children can grow up with? Or a reliable trail animal to help you enjoy the high country? Do you love a reining spin or the intricate moves of the dressage arena? Do you long to be flying high on a jump course? Or does driving a Surrey with the fringe on top sound like your cup of tea? Whatever kind of equine companion you're looking for, you'll want one that will perform in a safe, obedient manner. The purpose of these programs is to help you understand mules and donkeys and learn how to handle and train them correctly. Now, we know that not everyone watching owns a mule. Some of you own horses. Well, there's something here for you too. You'll notice that these are simple, easy-to-follow lessons. They're designed to teach you a variety of correct training methods for horses as well as for mules and donkeys. The result? Whether his ears are long or short, you'll have a well-mannered, well-trained animal. This program features segments from an award-winning video series created for the equine industry by acclaimed trainer and educator Meredith Hodges. Because of this, you'll hear occasional references to the videos and also to the workbooks and field cards that are included with the video series. The field cards that come with the videos are a great training tool that can be taken right into the arena. We'll be sure to give you information on the complete training series later in the program. Now let's learn a little about Meredith Hodges and why so many people rely on her as their training consultant.
I've known Meredith Hodges for many years, and I just want to say, not only is she a respected judge, trainer, and promoter, but she's the foremost authority in the world today on contemporary saddle mules. Her behavior modification training program, with the use of positive reinforcement, not only enables owners of all types of animals to really enjoy them, but to improve their quality of life. It also makes it very safe for them and a lot of fun and very, very enjoyable. Don't miss her TV program, Training Mules and Donkeys, and you're going to discover a whole new awareness that will enhance the care and training of your animal, whether it's a dog, cat, equine, or long-ear. Discover the secrets that make training fun and, of course, resistance-free.
Mules are wonderful animals. They're strong, intelligent, affectionate, with a great sense of humor, and what incredible athletes. But training a mule is different than training a horse. When you're training a mule, you have to take into consideration the donkey half as well as the horse half.
Your donkey can learn more advanced moves just like horses and mules if approached properly. This week, we'll teach your donkey under saddle how to canter in balance, move laterally, and even jump. You'll be amazed at what you're able to accomplish with patience and flexibility in your training program, and the benefits of massage for your equine.
Each week our program covers a different phase of management and training. No matter what kind of equine companion you're interested in, you'll find techniques that will help you reach your training goals and bond with your animal in the process. Just remember, the keys to success are patience, kindness, and understanding.
Hi, I'm Meredith Hodges. More and more people are finding out just how much fun it is to own a donkey. This program is all about donkeys and how to train them. Donkeys are rather unique animals and have a slightly different manner of learning than do horses or mules. In today's program, we'll cover the more advanced methods on how to train your donkey under saddle. But you must realize that we can't possibly show you everything there is to know about training your donkey in this program. You need to consult other sources and possibly even a professional trainer. If you'd like more details about what's being shown here, we'll provide information at the end of the show on how to order the videotapes and books that accompany this series. Let's get started. In the last program, we taught the canter by first starting our donkey in the round pen and then taking him into the arena. Today we'll talk about lead changes in the canter or lope. It won't take long for your donkey to master the basics of cantering on the correct lead. Now you can start to really have some fun as your training reaches a new level. When his transitions have improved and he has become better balanced, you can begin to canter smaller circles. To help him to learn to take the correct lead, circle in the center and make changes of direction on the fence. See how he executes a quicker turn on the haunches coming out on the correct lead? Watch how I use circles and trot transitions to work my donkey into a simple lead change through a figure 8. If he misses the lead at center, you can use the fence to bump him into the correct lead. If he misses a change of lead during any of these exercises, simply stop him and start the exercise again. Donkeys are actually more responsive to verbal commands than to rein and leg cues, so don't forget to use verbal commands constantly. Be precise, be concise, but don't leave anything out. After your donkey becomes adept at the canter and changing leads with just a few trotting strides, you can teach him to change leads on a straight line. Here is step number 1. Begin at a walk, then trot, then canter haw small circle, then straight for a few strides. Drop to trot trot, then canter G small circle, straighten, and repeat on the straight line. Step number 2 is to ask for the new lead without the circle. You may actually have to do a slight bend into the new circle, then back to the straight line once he picks up the lead, but this should merely be an interim step. Once your donkey has learned to canter and change leads in the patterns and on the straight, he is ready to begin what we call lateral training. These lateral movements will improve his balance, muscle strength, and flexibility. It is also the basis for any advanced training you might wish to undertake. Lateral work begins with ground driving your donkey in a large arena. You may have an assistant at his head to help reinforce your cues and show him what is expected. As always, review what he has learned. Next, drive him through the familiar hourglass pattern, but this time ask him to circle the first corner cone and down the center line, as illustrated in the diagram. Here's where your assistant will help him begin to move forward and sideways away from the circle. The verbal command is G over or ha over. As he begins to move diagonally, so should you, step for step. Pull the outside rein with distinctive pulls and releases. Use your whip to tap his opposite hip. Pull the outside rein in unison with his front legs. Yes, this takes practice and coordination, but soon you'll be moving as a team. Once he's beginning to move laterally, you can add different patterns. You can also ask him to listen even more carefully to your rein and whip cues. Eventually, we will ask for more complex patterns involving changes of lateral directions and moving his hindquarters. Sometime you might want to teach these lateral lessons to your donkey while mounted and do the ground driving afterward. This is where a pair of blunt spurs might be helpful. It's pretty much up to your donkey's style of learning and your preference. If it's easier to handle reins, legs, and a crop than drive lines and a whip, then saddle up. The principles are the same, and you must be just as clear with your verbal cues. If you've ground driven with an assistant, you probably won't need one under saddle. Just reward him lavishly for his honest attempts to do what you ask. Just remember that lateral movements are very taxing, and it takes time to get his muscles in shape and flexible. If he tires, he won't do the movements correctly, or worse, he may pick up bad habits as he tries to avoid such an effort. So keep the lessons short and only once or twice a week. Try to give him about 2 or 3 days between lessons until he is properly conditioned. One way or the other, your donkey should learn to drive and ride laterally. When he has mastered these skills in the arena, take him to the obstacle course and see how much fun it is to negotiate the course from his back. Your assistant can aid you in keeping his body straight or performing the movements correctly. Up to now, we've been schooling for what is called leg yields. That is, lateral moves on an angled track. We also worked a bit on side passing on the obstacle course. This was a lateral move straight sideways. Side pass is harder for a donkey than leg yields. Here are 4 exercises to help him perfect both leg yields and side passing. Again, blunt spurs will help reinforce your cues. The first is a spiral. Begin at the trot on the large circle and spiral down gradually to a smaller circle. When he is losing momentum, slow to a walk and spiral down to the smaller circle he is able to do. Keep him walking and begin to spiral back out, using your reins and legs to move him more sideways back onto the larger circle. Use your crop at his shoulder and hip to encourage him to move more sideways at the walk. Do this several times until he understands what is expected. Then pick up at the trot as the circle becomes larger and yield at the trot to the largest circle. Each time he finishes the exercise, reward him. When he's doing well at the walk and trot, ask him to canter the larger circle while you begin to spiral down. At about the halfway point, ask him to slow to a trot. Finish the spiral to as small a circle as he can manage at the trot. Then start spiraling back out to the larger circle. At the halfway point, pick up the canter and finish onto the largest circle. The next exercise is to leg yield your donkey along the fence line. Walk along the short side of the arena, and as you go into the long side, put him at a 45-degree angle. Use the reins in your legs to hold him in position as he leg yields the long side. Release and straighten as he comes back to the short side. The third exercise is to leg yield him from the corner of the arena to the center of your hourglass pattern. See how I use the cones as guides? The last exercise is to use the hourglass but circle the cone gates. Remember that your workbook shows these patterns in detail. Always walk the patterns first and make sure he's clear on what you want before attempting them at the trot. Take your time and do it right, then reward his success. Before long, these exercises will improve his negotiation of all kinds of different lateral movement, including his side pass.
No matter what sport you and your donkeys participate in, mastery of these advanced skills will help you excel.
Colorful Colorado, with its majestic Rocky Mountains and wide open spaces, also boasts the Loveland Long Ears Museum and Sculpture Park at the Lucky 3 Ranch, home of some of the finest mules and donkeys in the world. This working ranch is just 40 miles north of Denver. World-renowned authority on mules and donkeys, Meredith Hodges, invites you and your family for an adventure in learning you won't want to miss. Come visit the Lucky 3 Ranch, meet Meredith, her champion mules and donkeys, and take in the beauty of her long ears art for the experience of a lifetime.
Hi, I'm Meredith Hodges, and welcome to the Lucky 3 Ranch Training Tips. Initiating the canter is easier if you start by playing follow the leader with another animal. Eventually, your equine will be comfortable enough to canter by himself. Take contact with your reins just as you did in the round pen. Ask for a canter, but rather than loping around and round on the rail, ask him for large circles. Circles that are 60 feet in diameter are perfect. A large circle helps you stay in control and keeps your equine's pace slower without unnecessary pulling on his mouth. Don't worry about his nose. If his shoulders move in the right direction, his head will follow, not the other way around. As you canter, hold the outside rein taut and use the inside rein to determine the bend of the circle. Keep his body erect with your inside leg and use your outside leg behind the girth to propel him forward with impulsion and to control his speed. This is another time when good horsemanship is essential to successful training. You must teach yourself to stay relaxed and follow your equine's action. Keep most of your weight in the outside stirrup, back and down. Make sure your hands follow the forward rhythm of his strides. Don't balance yourself by riding your reins. Instead, hold your elbows close to your body with your hands and fingers relaxed and flexing lightly in time with your equine's action. Let your lower body follow your equine's natural motion. Maintain symmetrical body weight over your seat bones for balance. Only put slight pressure on your stirrups and allow your ankles to flex rhythmically to absorb the movement. Keep your legs underneath you with your toes up and pointed forward. This will put your heels down in a naturally balanced riding position. With each downward stride, push down with your legs in time with the rhythm. Keep your inner thighs soft and relaxed and allow your legs to move back upward after following the downward motion. With practice, you will feel the stride and it will feel more natural for you as you ride the canter.
see a huge mule? Okay, you're fine. Stroke with the head, that's all you gotta do. Okay, come on, boys, let's go. Come on.
Every owner knows that a well taken care of equine is a happy equine. More and more, a technique being used to enhance our animals' overall conditioning is equine massage.
What you have to realize is you're training an animal in their muscle tissue, and their muscle tissue has to be able to perform the task that you're asking the animal to perform. If you're having a hard time doing the advanced things, you need to go back to the beginning. The massage helps break the pattern of the neurons that fire to that muscle, that tell it to contract, to contract, to contract.
With proper instruction, just about anyone can learn to give their equine the benefit of basic massage.
I've been working on equines for a long time, and a lot of people look at you and hope that you can just come out and make an animal better. And you can't do that. It takes two pieces, the massage as well as the exercise. And the exercise is actually more important than the massage. And that's something that people really have to understand. And Meredith's tapes do that. And a lot of people don't want to take that long a time frame. They just want to do their 60 days, get on the animal and ride them. But that's not really where you can go with their backs.
For more intensive therapeutic massage, be sure to consult a professional. Equine massage not only enhances your animal's health and overall condition, it's also a deeply personal and rewarding bonding experience for both of you.
Many of you who love your horses also love your dogs. This type of massage can be beneficial for all your pets. If you want to improve your animal's quality of life, I can help. I can either teach you how to do it, or I can massage your dogs for you. Contact me at dogmassage.com.
Hi, I'm Meredith Hodges, and welcome to the Lucky 3 Ranch Training Tips. A transition is the passage of the equine from one gait to another. In the transition from a canter to a trot or walk, try not to pull back on the reins when slowing or stopping your animal. Instead, apply a light squeeze on the reins, take a deep breath and let it out, and sit relaxed. Stop the motion in your body and sit deep in the saddle while using the verbal command to whoa. When he's handling upward and downward transitions easily and understands how to take the correct lead in the arena, you can begin teaching your equine how to do a simple change of lead. Practicing simple lead changes will improve his balance through all gaits and transitions. We're not talking about flying lead changes here, just smooth, simple lead changes, where you drop to a trot for 3 to 5 steps and then pick up the opposite lead. Begin with the familiar figure 8 pattern and pick up a canter. As you approach the center of the figure 8, straighten your equine for a few strides to make the simple change of lead. Transition your equine from the canter to a trot or walk before changing directions and picking up the opposite lead. As always, try to create accurate, fat, round figure 8s so you will have an adequate straight point between the two circles. It won't be long before your equine is able to change leads by trotting for only 1 to 3 steps. Be sure to preface all halts with downward transitions through all the gaits. For example, go from canter to trot to walk to halt, and not just canter to halt. When speeding up, go through all gaits to achieve the faster gait while keeping the hindquarters engaged. He can learn to take off at any given gait once he's truly strong and balanced in good equine posture. As your equine becomes stronger, more confident in balancing and carrying the weight of a person, he will be better prepared to execute any kind of equine activity that you desire. Your cues will become nearly imperceptible because your equine will be primarily taking his cues from your seat and not so much from your hands and legs.
Artwork inspired by mules and donkeys is quickly gaining popularity. Tennessee mule artist Bonnie Shields has the uncanny ability to capture the fun-loving nature of these free-spirited animals.
They were like a horse, but they weren't like a horse. They had a little different body. They used their body a different way. They certainly had a different mental attitude. So they started intriguing me as an artist, and I kept finding the differences between them and the horse, both physically and in their reaction to things. So that started my love affair with the mule. When you deal with the mule, you're not always in charge. So it takes a little bit of a different kind of personality to appreciate the mule and to work with her.
She was the only artist that could really capture the essence of mules and donkeys. Because mules and donkeys are really good teachers and teachers of life lessons. And Bonnie has just been an inspiration to me ever since. Wow, how'd it do?
Whoa. I know that all through the years, Meredith gives tours to the ranch. But what a wonderful addition to this whole ranch would be a sculpture park just for the mules and the donkeys. So I just thought it was an awesome idea. And then she let me be part of it. It's a wonderful thing, and when you come to visit the Lucky Three, it's just an added bonus.
Mule people, you reckon I can get Meredith to make a tape on how to teach your mule to shovel snow? I sure gonna try. Wish me luck.
Just a wonderful human being, and working with her is always humorous. She is just funny as the day is long, and so I thought that she would be absolutely perfect as the illustrator for the Jasper series that I wanted to do.
The Daydreamers was inspired by a thing that I saw years ago. I heard about this family up in Kentucky. They'd been working tobacco out in the field with their mules. And one of the boys, he was laying across this mule's back, laying in the shade. They'd been working, and he was resting on the back of his mule in the shade. That just kind of stuck with me, and I thought, gee, a kid like that, you know, he thinks he's stuck on the farm. He thinks he's stuck doing all this terrible old work, and he's laying up there and he's daydreaming about getting away from it all. So that's where Daydreamer came from. Sculpture's not the only thing I do. Matter of fact, I got into sculpture maybe a little later in my career. Mostly, I was known for my pencil drawings and my acrylic paintings for many, many years.
Long ears art. It may be whimsical, like a cartoon, or it may simply be breathtaking. Long ears are taking their place in the world of art, and it's the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Once your donkey has reached this stage of training, you might want to think about perfecting his movement and putting him in the proper frame. Helping him to achieve the proper frame and good balance will not only improve his way of going, it will improve his appearance and make it easier for him to respond to your commands. One way to help him learn to use his body correctly is with the elbow pull. Here's how to adjust it properly. The elbow pull helps keep his body in the proper frame by not allowing his pole, his head, to raise much above his withers at all gaits and when you ask for turns or stops. It is reactive equipment. As long as he is going properly, it won't affect him. But as soon as he starts coming out of proper frame, it begins to work. The worse his error, the stronger the action of the elbow pull. It won't take long until he figures out where the most comfortable and correct position is for him to carry his head and body. See how the elbow pull helps him during lateral movements? See how it also helps him maintain his balance through transitions and changes of direction. Now let's work on lengthening his stride. We'll do this in the big arena. With the elbow pull in place, ask him to trot the perimeter. Ask him to lengthen on the long diagonal from corner to corner. This means he's not merely trotting faster, but he's actually increasing the distance between each step. As you approach the corner, shorten his stride and collect him up a bit. Here's an exercise to help him understand what you want. Place 4 ground poles slightly to the left of center of the arena, about 2.5 to 3.5 feet apart, depending on the size of your donkey. He should be able to easily trot between them without touching them. Trot him around the arena and over the poles. After he understands what you're doing, dismount and lengthen the distance between the poles by about 1 inch. Now trot him through them again. Each lesson you can lengthen the distance between the poles, but remember to only do it 1 inch at a time. Your posting will help him set his cadence, and before long he won't need the poles, but will be lengthening his stride as he takes his cues from your body and legs. Adding ground poles to his exercise routine at the trot adds variety and keeps him interested. Now you're ready to add a ground pole to his exercises at the canter to help you both learn to count and regulate his strides. Place 1 ground pole perpendicular to the long side of the arena. Canter the perimeter, and as you approach the pole, begin counting out loud about 3 strides out. 1, 2, 3, pole. See how this helps you learn to gauge the distance and measure your donkey's stride? See how it also helps your donkey to learn to adjust his strides. Notice how he becomes more balanced, rhythmic, and cadenced. Do the canter pole several times in each direction, and before long, your donkey will be more in tune with your aids. And don't forget to count out loud.
The next exercise is a wonderful way to condition your donkey, and if you plan to jump, it's absolutely essential.
Set a cavaletti slightly to the right of center of your arena with a ground rail 1 stride before and 1 stride after. Your workbook has details on how to set up the arena, as well as structuring a warm-up and exercise routine before you begin this more strenuous training. Begin at the rail at a trot, and as you approach the cavaletti, begin your count. 1, 2, 3, jump. After he's trotted the cavaletti 2 more times with ease, you may ask him to canter away to the rail and down the long side of the arena. Then take a break and a breather as a reward for his effort. Repeat the exercise, 2 trot approaches and 1 canter. 3 times one way with a breather and 3 times the other. As he improves, you can eventually canter him to the cavaletti and away. Just remember to preface the canter with the trot work. All these exercises help his conditioning, and he will become more agile, stronger, and better able to carry your weight. It helps him to learn balance and control, and it refines the connection between you and your donkey. If you discover you have a jumping star, make sure you go through my tape number 7 on jumping. In that tape, you'll learn more about training, building jumps, and negotiating courses. We're seeing more and more mules in cross-country events and stadium jumping. Why not show everyone what your donkey can do? The end result of all this hard work is that you will have a donkey that is safe, obedient, and a pleasure to ride. And you've accomplished all this through resistance-free training. Throughout this tape, we've talked about how training a donkey is similar to rearing a child. They need our help to grow into reliable adults with an investment of time and careful training. They need to learn certain rules and behavior for things to go well. You, in turn, teach them with love, with patience and understanding, and just the right amount of discipline. Your donkey will bond with you in this process, and in the end, you couldn't ask for a better friend or companion. All of these advanced moves may occasionally make your donkey feel sore and stiff. We'll be back in a moment to tell you about the art of massage to help keep your donkey feeling great. Have you ever had a massage? Remember how good it feels? An increasing number of people in the United States and abroad are recognizing that their animals also benefit from massage. At the Lucky 3 Ranch, we have found that therapeutic massage promotes relaxation and reduces stress. Massage stimulates healing after an injury and provides significant relief from pain. Your donkey may experience soreness when you ask him for some of the advanced moves discussed in this video. Massage can reduce those muscle spasms. Also, greater joint flexibility and range of movement can be achieved through massage and stretching. All this adds up to an increased ease and efficiency of movement. Other benefits include better circulation of both blood and the lymph system and deeper, easier breathing. All these benefits lead to a healthier hair coat, faster healing time from injury or surgery, reduced pain, spasm, and swelling, reduced formation of scar tissue, and a strengthened immune system. We know that massage therapy works on people. Just wait till you see how well it works on your long-eared athlete. If you think you'd like to participate in jumping competitions, or if you just like to watch them, be sure to tune in next time. We'll be covering advanced jumping techniques, including stadium jumping and cross-country courses. Be sure to tune in for the fun.
Having problems? Need an accessible trainer? Whether you're just a weekend trail rider or showing, the principles of training are the same. You want a safe and reliable equine companion. Produced by Meredith Hodges, Training Mules and Donkeys, a logical approach to long ears, will help you build a good working relationship with your animal. Meredith reveals the secrets of successful maintenance and resistance-free training that can be implemented by anyone, resulting in a satisfying partnership between you and your equine. Meredith answers your training questions promptly via mail or phone. Her books are great general resources and her videos are detailed, outlining the day-to-day exercises needed to produce a versatile and dependable equine companion. Meredith's techniques work with all equines. Do you have children, grandchildren? Check out Jasper, the story of a mule. For more information, check out our website at www.lucky3ranch.com or call 1-800-816-7566.
Mules are working their way into the hearts of people everywhere. If you'd like to know more about these wonderful long-eared animals, you can contact us at 1-800-816-7566 or get on our website at lucky3ranch.com.
Dusty old quilt hung crooked on a couch in an old stone house by a lazy river. Songbirds singing to me like slow ride